So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you as well. And thank you very much for this great opportunity to stay here on your 17th Supply Chain Conference. I will show you the trends and the challenges of the retail business in Switzerland and their relevant impact on logistics. First, I will start with a short overview about Migroos in Switzerland, the #1 retailer in Switzerland, and under the top 40 retailers worldwide. Next, I will present you, based on trend analysis of last 3 years, the trends and challenges in retail business. The relevant impact on logistics and supply chain will be presented on the point 3, and last but not least, the personal conclusion. I hope the next 20 minutes will be an advantage and enrichment for you and on your daily business. About Migroos. Migroos, 95% of our activities are in Switzerland, but we are also active in China, US, in India, Germany, and France. We are #1 retailer in Switzerland. We are a huge group at the end of the day, a conglomerate of different companies and different business models in or around the retail business. Founded in 1925 by Gottlieb Duttweiler. Our slogan is a little bit a better life for everyone, so it compacts everything. Our turnover last year was 27 billion euro. And we have a little bit more than 100,000 employees. The companies belongs to 10 cooperatives, and we have 12 commercial enterprises and also 12 industrial companies, 2 wholesale companies next to our main business, and we have also travel, education, sport, and culture. Our products are produced by our 12 own companies. 80% of our products are produced by them. We have chocolate companies, we have biscuit, ice cream companies, we have also water companies, meat and bread. Okay. Better? If you want to move. No, it's better like this. Okay. And we have also cosmetic companies. 80% are produced by ourselves, so we are typically a private label company. To be a little bit faster, I will slide up the slides and go directly to the trends and challenges of the retail business in Switzerland. So I hope you have a short overview about what we do, who we are. And now I would like to show you the trends and challenges in retail business. As I already mentioned before, we started 2.5 years with a huge trend analysis by McKinsey and Boston Consulting Group, and we also made a lot of interviews inside and outside our business. These trends analyses were very important for our logistic project 2030, and let's dive into these slides. Customer in focus, that's really not the egg of Columbus, that's clear, but we are very, very focused on our customers. Customers are always key number 1, and we are interested in their behavior, in how they work, how they interact with us. We are interested in the existing customer, but also in the non-existing customer. We have also a little bit the blue ocean approach from INSEAD. You can see here also of the future customers and the famous one. We really want to understand their behavior, their motivation, and their today and the day after tomorrow. That's very important, and therefore big data, analytics, psychology are very important for us, and we are focused on these topics. as I mentioned, we have made for our huge project a deep dive trend analysis by McKinsey. But before to tell you step by step, I will show you a short film about the retail challenges in Europe, which is also available on YouTube on Retail 2030. I hope it will work. Oops.
The global consumer goods industry is changing rapidly. While the focus is mainly on emerging markets such as China, Brazil, Russia or Africa, mature markets like Western Europe receive much less attention. However, there are significant changes ahead in Western Europe, and they will come fast. The consumer landscape and shopper behavior will undergo a massive transformation. Economic pressures and demographic shifts will lead to zero growth in the mass. Over the next 15 years, many countries will undergo a stark polarization. Economic stagnation and the mass exodus of the baby boomer generation into retirement will increasingly overburden social security systems. The middle class faces a situation of wages increasing slower than costs. People will respond by rigorously controlling consumption. As a result, manufacturers are faced with the mass of the market hardly growing. High growth will prevail in select niches, but will become increasingly fragmented. While the mass market is stagnating, diverse fragments of growth exist. Such consumers increasingly look for products with health benefits, personalization, convenient use, and/or social and environmental sustainability. This will lead to a vast increase of distinct, yet much smaller target markets for FMCG. Consumers will increasingly mix and match shopping locations to best fit their needs. Discount, still in its infancy in many Western European countries today, will gain significant share in selected categories, also with higher earning consumers. With the rise of e-grocery, consumer inertia has become the new source of brand loyalty. Winners are on the list, not on the shelf. It's taking a bit longer than expected, but grocery e-tailing will finally reach significant scale. E-consumers, however, shop very differently. Instead of browsing the aisles, consumers will stick to their shopping list and just repurchase. For FMCG manufacturers, it will hence become critical to be part of this list. Change will not only be caused by the consumer, but also by seismic shifts in the industry dynamics. New digital opportunities, as well as the growing threat of vertical e-commerce players, will drive adoption of direct-to-consumer models. As digital startups enter the space, replenishment-driven direct-to-consumer model will become increasingly common. Vertically integrated, they will directly compete in the field of FMCG incumbents. Secondly, online retailers like Amazon will continue to vertically integrate, offering more and more private label products. A new league of insightful FMCG giants will master the recipe to effectively market at the granular level. The level of consumer insights will increase across the industry, yet only a few players will be able to go beyond the new normal of digital and build true USPs. Those insightful FMCG giants will continuously and deeply interact with consumers and market at the most granular level, the segment of one. Activist investors further increase performance pressure and drive new waves of cost rebasing and consolidation. They demand higher profitability and force companies to not only rigorously rebase cost structures within their companies, but will set new standards of profitability for the entire category. Eventually, this will cause a new race for scale, which will lead to an unseen wave of consolidation in the market. Finally, change will come about through external factors outside of the industry. Regulators will transfer and destroy industry value pools through more demanding production and retail standards. More frequent shocks to globally interconnected supply chains will occur, caused by natural disasters, social unrest, resource scarcities, or other disruptions. Employees' needs will continue to evolve and will lead to increasing demand for flexibility and sustainable work-life balances.
So now we are on the group level. We have identified 6 huge challenges like the market environment, hybrid customers, technology, competition, business unit, and employees. And out of these six challenges, we have also identified 6 strategy areas, and they transformed into activities, and you see that below the logistic platform. And you can imagine that the technology, hybrid customers, business unit, employees with efficiency has a direct impact to our logistic project. But what we have done, we have made another, to understand more the customer behavior in retail, next to this McKinsey analysis, we have made together with SAP, we are one of the most important customer of SAP. We are also part of the SAP development team, together with our GDI, Gottlieb Duttweiler Institute. It's famous for trends and futures. Another analysis of the customer's behavior. But let's have a look on this film, what the customer in the future will be.
Shoes, refrigerator, yogurt, a new suit. Products are not important. Life is important. Breakfast with my girlfriend, or alone. I might have kids, a dog, or none of those. I don't want ads. I want facts. I want to see, smell, and taste. I want to know. I don't want to be seduced. I want to feel good about my decision. I don't want to search. I want to discover. I don't want to just shop. I want to leave a mark. I want to create. I want to give my opinion. I want to change something. I don't want to wait. I want to live now. I am tomorrow's customer. Nice to meet you. What will tomorrow's world of retail look like? We are convinced it's not about thinking ahead, but thinking differently. Finding new ways to understand what motivates customers today helps us create joint solutions with customers for the trade industry. For new ways of buying and selling, of acting and trading. For today, tomorrow, and even the day after tomorrow.
All these are basics for our activity along the whole supply chain and our different business optimizations. Very important to understand what's going on the market side. And after a few slides about Migros and a few slides about the retail challenges, I will now transform all this into our logistic project. From my point of view, that will be one of the most important things, to wait, to understand the trends, to understand the customer, and not to start as fast as you can with a logistic project. I think that is very important, next to the keyword like agility, and I think it's important for the whole team that they have the ability to understand the market. When we go into the trends and challenges for the supply chain, and I think it's more or less the same what we have heard in the morning, we have 10 points identified: omni-channel, cross-channel, aging, society, infrastructure. But I have seen this morning in Israel as well, we have huge challenges in infrastructure for the road situation. Automatization, very important. In Switzerland, for example, for a food producer, we have 45% of labor costs. So you can imagine that we have to automatize our processes. Regionality is very important. Energy systems are also important because actually we have 5 atomic power sites, but we want to shut them down, so we have to find new energy systems. Convenience, what we have heard from my speaker before. Sustainability of buildings, sustainability of our fleet, truck fleet, and also of our picking systems. It's important to know how much energy we need for one pick if we have up to 300,000 picks a day, so it's important. Cooperation along the supply chain and also new technology, and even the 3-dimension printing. We also started with food printing in Switzerland. What we have done, we have also checked this again with a Boston Consulting analysis, and you find more or less same than we have found out from McKinsey, big data, shift to the cloud, Internet of Things, autonomous control system inside and outside the buildings, and also 3D printing and cognitive computing. But let's go into the details. One of our most important things is, as a basis, we consider a continuous flow of material and information. You see here the whole supply chain from the producer, supplier, to our warehouses, to our stores, and below the SAP landscape. And what we do, we invest a lot in this SAP forecast replenishment with fresh modules. That means that we have the behavior of the customer, we have the activity in the stores, and even the weather impact. That's very important because you can imagine if you have not always beautiful weather, then you have different activities on meat or bread and things like that. But we also connect this information directly with SAP Extended Warehouse Management to our fully automated warehouses. So we change from make-to-order approach to an iterative forecasting, and we want to optimize the forecast with big data. Another very important point is out of this challenge is the competition in Switzerland and the cost, a total cost of ownership approach. This is something what we have implemented in the last 2 years to understand where the costs are in the different supply chains. You see the different categories of supply chains for frozen food, non-food, vegetables and so on, and also the supply chain on the right. But let's go to the next slide, because this is the cost allocation and the hidden potential. And it shows you very easy that the typical logistic costs along the whole supply chain are 50% or more on the store level. So that's important to know, and also only about 30% are on the warehouses. And I think that's an important point. So in the past we optimized only silo by silo our supply chain, and in the future we optimize along the whole supply chain. And that means that we can optimize maybe something in the warehouse processes and have a positive impact to the store activities and at home. Yes, so now it's the last film. I will show you this film of this logistic platform 2030. It's a 250 million euro investment, 50 million OPEX costs, and it reflects a lot of these challenges like efficiency, fully automated. We have implemented SAP EVM and also SAP forecast replenishment for iterative planning. Fully automated, what I mentioned before. It's also for e-commerce because it's able with a high bay warehouse to fully automated handling of logistical unit, even for trading units in the yellow parts and customer units for e-commerce delivery. And let's have a look on this beautiful film. Oops. So now I come, it's a little bit difficult, your technique here, especially for the language. Oops. Okay, I come now to the end of my presentation. And thank you, and hope you were able to understand our business challenges and how we have transformed this into our logistic project and execute this into customer satisfaction. Nevertheless, I will place a personal conclusion. Mindfulness and openness from top management to the middle management and also to the staff on the front is very essential for new trends and especially the digitalization is something what we have to understand very good. In Switzerland, what I have mentioned, the costs, and next to the cost, because we have competition by hard discount, Lidl and Aldi, we have to differentiate by services, how we can the customer only to the shops, at home, to our stores and so on. That's also important. Big data and to make smart data is also important. And at the end of the day, I think it's a mix of all these three things. So thank you for your attention. I wish you an interesting day with a lot of new ideas and knowledge. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me by Xing or LinkedIn or Facebook. If you have additional questions or remarks, but also if you have knowledge or tools to bring you and us in a better way in the future. Thank you very much for your attention.